surroundings welcomed their master with a fall into a deathly silence, leaving only the flutter of his mantle and the echo of his solemn march to dominate the soundscape. Polished to a mirror sheen and cleaned out of even the tiniest speck of dust, the floor was made of pristine marble, or so it seemed. Though part of it lay beneath the scarlet carpet, presenting a path fit for royalty down the center of the space, not a single seam was in sight. It brought to any observer's mind the notion that the entirety was carved from a single colossal crag and nothing more. Of course, that notion defended reason, for anyone with even the slightest hint of architectural knowledge understood that covering an area of at least 500 square meters with a single piece of material, thick or thin, was impossible from a transportation standpoint. Therefore, the next idea that the server would get was that the lack of visible seams was due to the masterful alignment of the marble patterns, though that was only under the assumption that the floor was indeed the marble it appeared to be.
お帰りなさいませ、ハイドリッヒョ。客人は仰せの通り、無事送り返してございます。ご苦労。
This was his castle, the realm of his throne, the world he created for his own sake, an unearthly land untouched by the ordinary. Thus, the very expectation of familiar building materials was a mistake. Indeed, to the standard eye, it was nothing but a castle, a magnificent, luxurious palace. Yet for some reason, it felt as dark and down as a catacomb. All hint of that which could be called life was thoroughly exterminated. Everything within was under a thick veil of stillness, silence, chill, and gloom. For all the magical majesty the castle boasted, it was a far cry from the perfect fit for its gaudy golden lord. If anything, it was more suited for his dearest friend.
ケイラも良い退屈しのぎになったであろう。事前演習の一環としては期待だが、客が客だ。緩んだタガを締め直す役には立つ。ことによればケイラ、身を保てずに離散するやもと思っていたがな。
ご冗談を。
The kneeling woman with half her face, a war-torn wasteland, wryly smiled in reply to her master.
確かにおっしゃる通り、脅威に値するとは思いましたが。
無茶と冗談総動員みたいな人なら、僕ら毎日見てるでしょ。
Her line was continued by a lean, one-eyed boy with silver hair. Though he was kneeling as the woman was, the tone of his voice and his expression showed no hint of formality. By no means, however, did that mean he didn't respect his master. With his cheery smile like a wag of the tail and his unrestrained words like a merry bark, he was the image of a puppy frolicking around its owner.
あれって何です？クラフトの女なんでしょ？はっきり言ってわけわかんないですね。
それは彼女がという意味か？シュライバー。
はい、ハイドリヒ教。そうじゃありません。僕がわかんないのは彼の主義というか。
Replying with militaristic expressions, the ashen boy, Wolfgang Schreiber, tilted his head to the side and searched his minimal vocabulary for words that would serve to describe his impressions.
あの子はよどみがない。真っ白です。それを月星として崇めたり、親切に泥の靴跡残したいっていうなら、まあ珍しくはないからわかるんですよ。でもクラフトは自分じゃ何もしないじゃないですか。額に入れて飾るでも触れるでもなく他人任せ。そそらない女への適当な扱いにしか見えませんよ。もっとこう男性的征服欲ってやつですか？あと所有欲とかそういうのあってしかるべきじゃないんですかね。僕には理解できません。
To this boy, everything but his master and himself was a target for his slaughter, and he didn't even have a scale for the feeling of attraction. The words he spoke were based on objectivity and prevailing perceptions. They were an outsider's look into the phenomenon of male action towards attractive females. He said that he didn't understand it, but in actuality there wasn't a single thing he could understand. His impressions were better described as knowledge of phenomenon or as lack of it. The shape of Karl Kraft's love just happened to be outside of Schreiber's foreknowledge, nothing more. Reinhardt was fully aware of his retainer's abnormality. The boy was equal to an insect with a human mind. Or better yet, a machine. One that was open to the installation of new programs. Though feelings will stay alien to him, it was possible to get him to know what it was.
もう方、自然のめでる感覚に近いのだろうよ。あるいはエデンの園というやつかな。
Therefore, Reinhardt thought his human-looking and human subordinate was to your friend's value. Or at least his own take on them.
そうした意味で男女の営みという概念ではないのさ。カールを人がましく見ようとする K の視点は面白いが、それは徒労だな、シュライバー。
つまりペット同士交配させて遊ぶってやつですか？でもそれって、ああ。
Schreiber struck his palm with his fist like he'd reached some sort of conclusion. The Crimson One remained silent as she knit her brows. Reinhardt went on in a whisper, smirking atop his throne.
意志は流れいずり天地創造。もって形をなし動き出す。思うに、つまりそういうことなのであろうよ。蛇は楽園を追われる。で、それはそうと、一人足りんな。
The Imperial Guard that served the Lord of this abnormal castle amount to 3, yet only 2 were present.
病気が出たか。
みたいですね。もう我慢できないんじゃないですか？
なるほど。
Though Schreiber talked as if it didn't concern him, it wasn't hard to perceive the rage within. There was little doubt that the removal of a single layer of his skin would unleash the rampaging beast he really was.
ならば相手をしてやれ、シュライバー。増票連れを一個分ほぐったところで、マキナは満足などすまい。
それを言うなら、誰が相手でも彼は満足なんかしないでしょう。
だが大事の前だ。あれに殺されてはたとえこの城内でも面倒になる。K ならそうやすやすと死にはすまい。
His master's words made him hang his head and grin widely. Then, with a shiver in his arms and shoulders, the whole of his body started to boil with an uncontrollable desire.
わかりましたよ。ですが、ハイドリヒ卿。
無論試し合いではない。殺し合い。共に加減などケイラはできない。それで枠が欠けるとなればそれまでのことよ。行くがいい。
ヤボール。
With a dash as quick as his response, the frenzied Albedo left to where the iron Nigrido was. Left alone with her master, the crimson Rubido displayed no feelings about her comrades as she continued her iron silence. Self-assertion was pointless. A loyal subject does nothing but what the master orders. So if you don't get what these names mean, it's referring to the magnum opus of alchemy. Nigrido is the blackening, the melting down of the raw components. Albedo is the whitening, the purification or refining of the components. And then Rubido is the reddening or the animating or bringing to life of the components. So those are the 3 steps of alchemy. There's also the yellowing, which is supposed to precede the reddening, but it's sometimes omitted from people referring to the magnum opus. Unfortunately, I can't remember what exactly that step is called. It begins with X, I know. So keep in mind that these names may hold significance, how the Nigrido may be the trying to accumulate materials, then the Albedo is going to go in there and try to basically filter out some of the materials, and then Rubido is the final step. So she's going to animate whatever is there.
ザミエル。
はっ。
Lo, for an order was about to come, and regardless of what it was, the woman would bear no question as she would execute it with utmost thoroughness. The state of affairs did not allow her to mess about, so she took up the role of a device meant to complete tasks with optimal efficiency. Even if it was a device that brought only destruction and violence.
第5は K の手で開け。多少無理もあろうが、少々強引に出て構わん。皇族が潜りやすいよう、道を大きくしておけよ。しかるのち、カールの大隊とは遊んでやれ。K のローゲでな。
ヤボール、マインヘル。
With those words and a reverent nod, Rubido stood up, bowed and distanced herself from the throne. Then, as if signaled by her leave, the walls, flooring, and ceiling wavered and shook as they started to go after her. It was the cry of those charging into war. An army's worth of souls got torn away from the castle and marched into the battlefield under Rubido's command.
さて彼女は加減を知らんぞ。芯のない生蔵ならば溶け落ち砕け。これが正念場というところかな。
Resting upon his throne, Reinhardt smirked as the castle shivered under the weight of his legion. An army numbering in the millions, all alight with craving for Irae. Oh, and how close it was. Just a little. They all had to wait just a little more. Chapter 8. Noxious Error. Or is it supposed to be Noxaner? It had already gotten bright by the time I reached the city center. At a glance, the morning scenery of the town seemed unchanged from its usual appearance, making the night's events feel like a bad nightmare. However, I knew that was naive sentimentality on my part, nothing more. A bunch of Nazi psychos had most certainly infested my home ground, and all those normal people were in mortal danger despite not even suspecting a thing. If I was an adult with an actual position in society, I would do all I could to evacuate the place. Unfortunately, I was just another kid in the eyes of the public, with no power to move the people. I had no choice but to grit my teeth and go along with those bastards' war game. The lives of everyone in this town were my chips in this poker game of death, where folding was not an option. I couldn't help wishing to go prostrate and apologize to every single one of the businessmen and jogging students bustling through the morning streets. It might not have been directly my fault, but I was still the one playing with their lives, unbeknownst to them. Even if I won, this feeling of guilt wouldn't fade. Still, this wasn't the time to be getting too philosophical. I needed to dedicate all my time to averting the worst possible outcome of this fucked up situation. Forgetting myself in a woe-is-me routine wasn't going to help anyone.
よし。
I called myself. The first thing I had to do now was learn more about the bastards, and I needed someone to help me on that, regardless of how much I hated the idea of it. It seemed like Shiro and Hanjo knew significantly more about the Obsidian Round Table than I did. Plus, at least according to Father Trifa, they should have still been alive. No doubt hanging out at the club of theirs. I had to find them, exchange information, and come up with a proper plan before anything unexpected happened again. Time was of the essence.
ねえ、レン、あれ見て。
Marie pulled on my sleeve, urging me to turn around. As I did.
あの人たちはレンとかすみの友達？部屋にかけてあったのと同じ服着てるよ。
ああ。
Marie pointed at a group of students from my school, at least judging by their uniforms. It was still a bit early for class, so they probably belonged to one of those clubs with morning practice.
おい待て。
Clubs? Morning practice? Were most of such activities put on hold because of the decapitation murders? There was one idiot who ignored the warnings, but any students with at least a shred of common sense would be holed up in their homes at this hour. Besides, wasn't today Sunday? My own stupidity left me momentarily speechless. How long had I been locked up underground exactly? I never even tried to check how much time I'd spent unconscious since the battle at the bridge.
マリ。
I stopped myself, realizing that she had no concept of dates anyway. I gaped at Marie for a few moments, unable to form sensible words before figuring to check my pockets.
ない。
My phone was gone. I suppose there was little to be surprised about that. I mean, I was captured and locked up in the dungeon following a long and strenuous battle. If I didn't drop the phone mid-fight, they would have taken it away from me while I was unconscious.
くそ。
I looked around, panicked, and discovered a convenience store nearby. I probably stormed inside and asked the clerk about today's date.
月曜日。
God damn it. I've been unconscious for a whole day. I left the store in a hurry, almost crashing into Marie, who followed me in confusion.
悪い。今すぐ家に帰る。
And at top speed, there was not a second to waste.
どうして？
かすみが学校に行っちまう。
Not waiting for an answer, I dashed down the street.
レン、待ってよ。
Before I could get too far, however, she caught me by the sleeve, nearly making me crash into the pavement as I lost my footing. My first thought was to shake her hand off, but then I realized.
一人で行かないで。置いていっちゃ嫌だ。
Right, of course. I couldn't leave her to wander the streets alone. I lost my cool there for a second. Still, it didn't change the fact we had to hurry.
一緒に走るぞ。きついかもしんないけどゆっくりしてられない。
大丈夫。私走るの得意だよ。
I had no idea how long her endurance would last, but in the worst case scenario I could just carry her in my arms. We were past the point where we could afford minding the eyes of strangers.
行くぞ。
I grabbed Marie by the hand and began my mad dash down the street for real. My heart was jackhammering like a damn fire bell. Cosme would run straight into Sakura and Ruzalka if she went to school today, and now that I had established myself as their opposition, that meant mortal danger for her. I had to do everything in my power to protect her.
ちくしょう。
I felt dazed at my own hypocrisy. I'd been passing countless other students heading to school on my way home. Yet here I was completely ignoring them while only caring about saving Cosme. She was the only person at school I could still call a friend, now that Himuro had basically turned out to be one of them. In a way, Cosme was now my Achilles heel. That was my excuse for prioritizing her above the rest. The other students would be no use to them as hostages, which placed Cosme in greater danger. Still,
クズだ俺は。
the truth was that I simply devalued human lives. I cared little about people whose names I didn't know if the alternative meant losing Cosme. Mere moments ago, I was pondering the safety of the entire town, and now that I found myself cornered, I abandoned it all in a heartbeat.
クソクソクソ。
And this game of self-blame was as hypocritical as everything else about me. No matter how much I cried over it being a tough choice, I'd never even considered the possibility of sacrificing Cosme. In which case, I had to stop wallowing in self-pity and stick to my guns like a man.
泣かないで。
I wasn't crying, but I might if you keep that up. So please stop prodding me, I'm begging you.
レンは正直だね。
Marie gave my hand a firm but gentle squeeze. Just a while ago she was goofing around like a kid, yet now she consoled me. Something really had happened to her.
大丈夫だよ。私がついてる。
Right now, though, her abrupt change in personality ended up helping me out.
だから怖くないよ。一緒だよ。
She was right. I could depend on her now.
マリー全部終わったら
When everything's over, let's go eat that crazy parfait again. And it'd be even better if Cosme, Himuro, Shiro, and Hanjo could join us as well. No one should be able to blame me for hoping for such a future. And so, after a few minutes of running, we reached our apartment complex. Jumping 3 steps at a time, I flew to her door and started banging on it.
おい俺だいんのかかすみ出てこいこら
I honestly felt like a Yakuza debt collector there for a second, but I was beyond caring.
起きろ寝てんのかおいかすみ
Getting no response, I tried the doorknob. It turned without resistance.
鍵が開いてる
With seething anxiety gnawing at my heart, I took a step inside the room.
いないね。
The room was completely empty, just as Marie had said. I tried looking through the hole leading to my own room, but there was no one there either.
まさかもう出たのか
That made no sense. It was way too early. The clock had been pointing at 7 o'clock in the morning, and she only ever did her kendo thing after school. That club didn't have morning practice.
あのお揃いの服はないね。
Marie, who had been looking over the room behind my back, pointed out that Cosme's uniform was gone. I found a spare in the closet, but the one she would always wear was definitely not in the room. She must have left wearing it. There was no other way to explain it. In other words,
遅かったのか
I couldn't think of another possibility, but in that case, it seemed odd that we never ran into her on our way here. It would make no sense for her to abruptly change the usual route she took to school. But then how early could she have left?
追いかける？
いや
Something wasn't right here. Normally it would make the most sense to try and catch up to her, but I began to doubt if she ever left for school at all. Her door being unlocked was fishy enough. Cosme might not have been the most fastidious person in the world, but at least she knew how to lock her damn door. Could she have been kidnapped then? Where would they keep her? Just as the welling anxiety in my chest had peaked and was about to explode. Startled by the sudden sound of the phone, Marie latched onto my shoulder, sending both of us tumbling down onto the floor. Wait, sure, that hurt, but I'm I'm about to get choked here, so get off me already.
なにあれ何なんで音がするの
It's just a goddamn everyday phone. Wait, phone?
マリ、頼む、どいて。
やだ何か光ってるよ怖い
お前の胸の方がよっぽど怖えよ。
If possible, I want to avoid getting smothered by these things. I shoved Marie aside, who had shown no sign of letting go of my head, and took a closer look at Cosme's blinking phone. The phone's LED screen displayed an unknown number.
誰だ。
I had a bad feeling about this. Considering everything we'd found out so far, it could very well have been a ransom call from the kidnappers.
マリ、どう思う。
I hope that her inexplicable intuition could help us on this matter, but...
お前
I had no idea what was up with her, but she seemed completely out of it, still crumpled to the floor and mumbling to herself.
お前って呼ばれた
Apparently she's a masochist. I wish she could have at least taken care to hide her panties. Trying to discuss things with her in that state seemed like wasted effort, so I instead focused my attention on the phone. I figured ignoring it was out of the question. For all I knew, the situation might have been growing worse with every second that passed.
もしもし。
I steeled myself and picked up the receiver.
どちらさんで。
And then... In that moment, I learned that when the stars aligned right, even those most patient could crack.
ふざけんなよてめえ
What the hell is this? Now I feel like a damn idiot. Those bird-brained bastards.
何どうしたのレン
Marie peeked out from behind my shoulder. I handed her the receiver in silence. She took a deep breath to calm down, then pressed it against her ear.
これどうするの
I didn't feel like explaining the intricacies of phones to her right now. Well, I suppose my anger was uncalled for. If anything, I should have felt thankful to the two bastards. I was merely trying to vent my frustration on someone. I was fully aware of that.
その声マリーちゃん。あんたも無事だったんだね。よかったよかった。
It was just that the abrupt change of mood made me sort of crack. I ended up running around in a panic for absolutely no reason, like some damn idiot. And so the only option left for me at this point was to completely lose my shit. I should have known that blockhead number 2 would be just as reckless as number 1. Birds of a feather, those two.
かすみちゃん、私が拉致っといたから安心して戻っといて。なんか今もギャーギャーわめいてるしさ。説明責任果たしなさいよ、色男って。そこのブスくれてる人に言っといて。じゃ、この通話が終わると同時にその電話機は爆発します。ピーという発信音が鳴った後。
うるさい、黙れ。お前絶対いつかパクられるからな。日本警察なめんなよ、バカ。
I slammed the receiver down so hard it shook the table.
いや、マリ、本当に爆発なんかしないから。
I considered Marie, who had been cowering in the corner, pressing her palms against her ears, and took a sigh. She seemed to have remained childlike and blindly trusting despite the recent changes that occurred in her. I was better off keeping jokes to myself around her.
大丈夫なの
ああ、だいたいどんな仕組みで家電を遠隔爆破させられるんだっていう。
That's actually very easy to do.
するのかよ。
It wasn't a huge explosion or anything, but fumes burst out of the receiver after a relatively loud crackling noise. That Hanjo, was she out of her mind?
嘘つき
あ、まあ、ごめん。
I felt it unfair that I had to be the one to apologize, but at least I knew Cosme was safe. Or rather, as safe as one could be around those two. Although in that case, it made the explanation of the situation that she apparently demanded, an extremely troublesome and complicated affair which I would rather very much avoid. Plus, I'm not sure if you guys saw that antique computer on her desktop there. Well, it's a laptop specifically, but it's been a while since I've seen one like that. I don't know if retro's coming back or what. However, escapism wasn't really an option for me, so we took off to the club and got there in about an hour. Any normal person would assume that the door to a nightclub would never be open this early in the morning, but the bulky man standing there just silently let us through. That was probably the bouncer. Despite having the build of a pro wrestler, he seemed no more than a papier-mâché tiger to me. Surely that was understandable. I mean, I'd just walked out of a no-joke literal hive of monsters. A man that appeared to be larger than average might have made me feel meek before, but there wasn't even a hint of fear within me now. Hell, I actually felt peaceful. Marie had always been dense to such things, and this time was no different. She nonchalantly followed me while showing no particular reaction to the bouncer. And so...
やあ、おかえり。
we entered the hall and got welcomed by Hanjo.
怪我とかしてない？なんだったら私が見るけど。
いや、大丈夫。
She talked as if she had medical knowledge, but I couldn't care less if she did.
シロとかすみは？
寝てるよ、二人とも。ここそっか？
お前さっきかすみがわめいてるとか言ってただろうが。
いや、そうなんだけどさ、あんまりうるさいから黙らしちゃったよ。ごめんね。けど乱暴はしてないからね。この必殺夢見るハンカチでちょちょいっと。
いい、もう分かった。
It probably had chloroform or something on it. It was borderline, no, definitely criminal, but right now I felt grateful to her for silencing that annoyance. I should also thank her for the fact that they stopped her from going to school. The means might have been questionable, but I had a hunch that it wouldn't have been too different if I was the one doing it.
まあ礼ならシロに言ってよね。あいつがやれって言ったんだからさ。で、どうする？シロだけでも起こそっか？
後でいいよ。お前とも話がしたいし。
あれれ？前は露骨にすっ込んでるビッチみたいな態度取ってたくせに。
事情が変わったんだよ。それにビッチうんぬんは思ってないぞ。
ねえ、ビッチって何？こいつみたいな女。
Hanjo grinned as she pointed towards me.
つまり気が多くて一人に定まらない。あっちもこっちもみんな大好き。Love is all。じゃあ、いい人のことなんだね。
そのいい人ってのはどうしようもないやつを無理やり褒めるときに使う便利な言葉なんだよ。
よくわかっていらっしゃる。
Shut up.
とにかくいいだろう。シロの前にお前からもちょっと聞きたいことがある。
そんな、私の性感帯なんか聞いてどうすんのよ、変態。
Completely ignoring her joke, I took Marie's hand and walked into that one VIP room.
ちょっと兄さん、どうするですか？
Hey, Hanjo, you too, Shiro. I think you should know that it's high time for you both to get serious about this. Anyway.
電話爆破の仕掛けが知りたいの？
違うって。
Though I'd have been lying if I said I wasn't curious.
あれはね、別に遠隔とかそんなんじゃなくて、私があそこでかすみちゃんさらった時に直接仕込んだネタなんだよ。具体的に言うと、一回受話器を取って戻したら10秒後にボン。まあ子供の理科実験レベルだよ。そんな真剣に不思議がられても困るっていうか、照れるっていうか、いや褒めたいならありがたく称賛を受けるけど。
心配するな、絶対褒めない。
So if you don't understand what she's talking about, it's basically the premise of a landmine. So it's already in a off position. When you pick up the phone, that will arm it, and then when you lower the phone, that triggers the detonation. So, like I was saying, it's not that hard to do. The way she did it was that one, but you could remote control it, you could do all sorts of fun stuff. But this is the question that would probably be more annoying than anything. Hell, why did she blow up someone else's telephone in the first place? I should tell her after playing this stupid shit so nonchalantly, but
そのことはもういいから、ちょっと真面目に答えてくれ。シロ、あいつ何なんだ？俺の知ってるあいつじゃなかった。お前なら知ってるんだろ。
I didn't see how his one-on-one with Wilhelm ended, but there was no doubt that he was even less normal than before. He wouldn't even be alive right now if he wasn't.
シロ、重傷とか負ってないのか？
何箇所か脱臼はしてたけどね。でもそんなもんだよ。 はめりゃ治るし。それなりに疲れはしたみたいだけどね。日頃あんまり寝ないくせに今はバタンキューしてるから。で、あいつは何者なんだって言われても、レン君は心当たりないわけ？
I had nothing. Zero. Zilch. There was no denying he was a pretty good brawler and more used to fights than I was. However, I always gauged him as that one combative delinquent that every school had, and definitely not someone who could go hand in hand with one of those lunatics. After all, Wilhelm almost put me down like a sick dog once, and since my battle with Shiro ended in a draw that got us both hospitalized, there was no way he could stand a chance against that Nazi. This could only mean that his change was caused by something that happened to him during the 2 months after he escaped the hospital and met up with Hanjo. But what was this something anyway?
あんたはあんまり人のこと詮索するタイプじゃないと思ってたんだけどね。
ああ、柄じゃない。けどそれも時と場合だ。お前らここで引っ込むつもりはないんだろ。俺もまあお前らを当てにしてることがあるし、情報交換は必要だろ。
うん？それって2日遅れの同盟成立と取っていいわけ？ねえ、どうなの？
ああ、そう取っていい。
There was no reason for me to deny their help at this point. I was aware of this for a while now, but my tendency to try and solve everything all by myself was a really bad trait. My discarding of that principle, which was more like a stubborn fixation, was probably caused by the feeling of powerlessness. Stand before Reinhardt made me realize and understand that the burden was too great for me alone. I guess it was safe to say I only became more rational, but whatever the case, I needed their help.
仲間ならあいつのことをちゃんと把握しておかないといけない。
仲間なら三角中継してないで直接聞けばいいじゃんよ。
あいつ絶対真面目に答えないだろ。
He'd probably put up the most serious face he had and say that he's a legendary hero chosen by God himself.
だからお前に聞いてんだけど。
実はあいつ神に選ばれた伝説の英雄で。
お前ら思考回路全く同じかよ。
いやいや、どう冗談だからそんなにムキになんないで。
Hanjo smiled and told me to take some deep breaths to calm down. The absolute lack of tension was a striking similarity between them both.
まあでも真面目な話ね。こういうのはちょっとどうかと思うわけよ。やっぱりいかんでしょ。本人がいないところで秘密をベラベラ喋るってのは。あいつがどう思うかは別として、私は好きじゃないのよね、こういうおしゃべり。だいたいほらマリーちゃんだってつまんない話だから寝ちゃったじゃない。
She wasn't lying. Marie was peacefully sleeping with her eyes closed and her head against my shoulder.
それでもまだ知りたいなら交換条件ってことでフェアに行こうよ。私は今寝ちゃってるシロのことを話すから、そっちも同じく寝ちゃってるマリーちゃんのことを話して。もしくは起きてる私たち2人だけのことを話すか。どう？
分かった。
I nodded.
後者で行こう。お前の言う通り隠れて噂話ってのは趣味が悪い。
Seemed like I'd have to ask Shiro straight from the horse's mouth. It wasn't like I didn't trust Hanjo or anything, but the idea of spilling Marie's circumstances didn't sit right with me.
オッケー。じゃあ先行はそっちでいいよ。1回につき1問と。
And that was how we began our little two-player round of 20 questions. She couldn't make it out. In fact, she couldn't even hear a thing. She was told to wait in the next room if she wanted to hear the whole story, but it wasn't exactly easy to eavesdrop on them from where she was.
いや、でも宝だから使えなくも。
Maybe indeed. Perhaps she was. However, there was no denying that it was a challenge. Deep within, Cosme wanted to kick the door down and break into the room, but even she knew that Ren wouldn't speak a thing if she showed herself. This was her only option. She was peeved about having to follow a kidnapper's proposition, but she couldn't deny that it was her only option.
大体何よ。
Waiting for her to fall asleep and then disappearing like he did was hardly forgivable in her book. Cosme couldn't understand why Ren was always so keen on keeping her out of his woes. She did understand that this particular case was way beyond the level of a joke. However, that was exactly why she wanted him to consult her. Ren was the only one who benefited from him bottling it up and worrying all by his lonesome. That tendency of his caused me more irritation and frustration than she knew how to handle. Maybe she wouldn't be of much help. Maybe she didn't get in the way. But she thought that maybe she could if he had let her lessen his burden by worrying along with him.
もう本当に聞こえないよ。
They were mumbling something about arms and necks, but none of it connected for her. Cosme started to question if breaking in wasn't actually the better idea.
ねえねえね
Frustrated with those considerations, she, with her ear against the door's edge, waved and called out to the guy slumped on the sofa behind her.
え。シロ、あんたはいいの？聞かなくて。
ああ、俺は別に興味ねえわ。
That was a straight up lie, for Shiro had an earphone lodged in the ear that Cosme couldn't see.
あいつが口割るとすりゃ、特に面識のないエリーになる確率が一番高いし、だからこのセッティングにお前も了解したんだろ。ここはおとなしく待っとこうぜ。気になりゃ後でエリー自体に聞けばいい。
それはそうだけど。
Cosme mumbled something before making a dissatisfied pout. The fact that she was the very same soft-hearted, lovable, and simple Twitsumi he knew made him grin.
お前、俺がいない間にチッターレンと進んだか？
進んだって何がよ。
だから実質住んでる部屋同じなんだし、俺がいなくならできることもやれることも増えるだろうがよ。
できることってあんたそんな。
だよ、万年少女かよ。終わってんな、お前。
やかまちゃ
おい、来い。
She was stupid, a real idiot.
でもまあ、お前はそういうところがいいんだろうな、多分。
うるさいわね。あんたこそいきなりいなくなったと思ったらこんなところでフラフラと。
ああ、はいはい。その説教はもういいだろ。何回目だよ。
まだ一回もちゃんと最後までしてないわよ。
じゃあ、あっちの話はもう仕方か？
それはダメ。
Cosme snuck up to the edge of the door again, but no matter how closely she listened, she couldn't get a proper grasp on the conversation, which was hardly surprising considering that Shiro and Ellie set it up like that to begin with. Unbeknownst to Cosme, there was a small amplifier placed between the two rooms, releasing a noise preventing any human voices from being heard on the other side. With the exception of Shiro listening in on the exchange through a device in Ellie's clothes, it was practically impossible for anyone to hear anything from the neighboring room.
全然聞こえないよ。
だから今は諦めろって。いいじゃねえか。俺ら二人揃って蚊帳の外っつうことは、逆説あいつが蚊帳の外だ。
All Shiro had to do was make Cosme acknowledge the fact that Ren spoke up about his situation. Though she did seem less than satisfied, even she understood that the current setup was the best she could get. This was a display of Shiro's kindness towards his childhood friends. It allowed Ren to go without having to make up some bullshit to hide the truth from Cosme, who in turn didn't have to be fooled by him. He established what seemed to be the optimal situation for the both of them. Although, rather than an act of kindness, it was more a method of making up for the fact that he was about to use them both for his own gains.
しかし、何話してんのかね、あいつらは。
While actually having full grasp of the exchange, he nonchalantly pretended to scratch his chin to fix the small microphone near his mouth.
だいたいエリー、あいつも学校サボりすぎだろ。
だから今一番危ないのは学校なんだよ。
Hancho answered my 15th question.
レン君は引っ越し組だから知らないかもしんないけど、私はここの生まれだからさ。
She was talking about the thing I heard from Reinhardt. The hardly believable bullshit that this town was built by their accomplices who were here before, during, and after World War II.
実際一説俗説入り混じって今じゃ何が正しいのかよくわかんないけど、この町に都合8カ所重要ポイントっていうのがあるらしい。風水とか錬金術とかまあいろいろ言われてるけど、それを線でつなぐとやばいんだってさ。でその中でもほとんど絶対に近い確率で8個の一つに数えられてるのが
月額なのか。
そう。
That answer gave me a headache. I could feel nothing but rage at myself for not realizing it sooner. Sakurai told me that the school was a special place and that it was the reason why she and Rusalka were there. That was why the school was easily the most dangerous place right now, regardless of whether or not I was there, they had business with it.
なんか朝練っぽい生徒らが何人か登校してたって言ったよね。おかしいんだよそれ。だって今は例の事件で部活動やってなかったはずなんでしょ。
Students walk to school in a situation they shouldn't be, like rats drawn to the magical song of the Pied Piper. I should have grabbed any one of those students and checked if they were sane or not. If I did that, then by now I would be...
助かったよ本庄。
I immediately got up from the sofa, making Marie lose me as her support and wake up in a state of surprise.
どうしたのいきなり。
今から学校に行く。
Ignoring her confusion, I took her hand and helped her up. I knew that we were hurriedly walking to and fro all morning, but the situation didn't allow us any rest. My current enemy was either Sakurai, Rizulka, or both. I had no idea which, but I couldn't just ignore it. Unless I did something, they would succeed in completely resurrecting Reinhard. That was the one thing I had to prevent, no matter the cost.
いいの？このまま行っちゃって。
She's probably asking if I want to see Kasumi and Shiro before taking off.
いい。顔を見ると決心が鈍りそうだ。それに目でも覚まされたら面倒だろう。
そりゃね、確かに。
Hanjo shrugged with a wry smile on her face. In our exchange, I told her pretty much everything I knew. The only exception was the vignette about Marie's life and its end. But other than that, I was all up cards. I had no idea if she believed everything I told her, but that was completely outside my domain now. We each got our share of info and that was it. Now each of us had to decide whether or not what we got was the truth.
でもそっか、魂か。液体窒素も効かないとか、どんだけギャグ一歩手前なのよって思ったけど、本当に悪い冗談が相手なんだね。
I would really appreciate it if what I told her made them refrain from getting any deeper into this mess.
かすみのことは頼むよ。俺は。
ああ、はいはい。いってらっしゃい。あ、できれば首とか持って帰ってくれると嬉しい。標本にするから。
This woman could sure say some nutty things.
それからこれプレゼント。改造してるから地球のどっからでも通話できるよ。
Saying that, she threw me a cell phone.
私とシローの番号入ってるから何かあったら連絡して。
わかった。
じゃあね、マリーちゃん。
ほう。
あれ、どうしたのかな。私の顔になんかついてる？
ううん。さようなら。
エリー。名前ちょっとかぶってるよね、私だって。
エリー。そうだね。あなたも私と同じになるよ。
そりゃ光栄だ。すっごい楽しみ。
行くぞ。
Honestly, I didn't understand a thing of what they were saying. I learned from Kasumi and Himuro that conversations between females were something that needed to be professionally deciphered for us men to process them. This was probably no different, just one of the ways women displayed friendship and affection amongst themselves. I registered accordingly and promptly forgot about it, blissfully unaware of how foolish I was being and what a grave mistake I was making.
ふん。
After seeing them off, Ellie held her shoulders and silently hummed.
やだな。私震えてる。
Chills unlike those brought by fear were running all over her body. Ellie didn't know why, but looking Marie straight in the eye made her shiver. If she was forced to compare it to anything, she would likely converge on the feeling of being love-struck. She didn't actually swing that way, but her heart was palpitating and her breath was ragged. She hummed again while tilting her head to the side. Ellie thought that the feeling might be akin to envy. She considered him a good guy, felt bad about what she did, and would be glad if he didn't grow up to hate her. Though he likely would sooner or later. So... there's a pronoun change here that has me a little bit confused. Marie looking her in the eye made her shiver, and then they're talking about a guy. So I don't know if they're suddenly talking about Ren, or what. Oh well, I'm not really going to worry about it. Let's just move forward. The moment Marie induced those complicated emotions in her, Ellie felt shock, as if the girl had seen through her intentions. That was probably the best way to describe it. Well, not like it mattered anyway.
ちょっと
Which is why it was very easy for Ellie to discard all those nonsensical thoughts and meet with Cosme as she scuttled in from the neighboring room. Their plan worked, and that was good enough.
あいついきなりどこ行っちゃったのよ。デートしてくるってさ。
デートって
Cosme looked confused, as though she were contemplating if that really were the case.
なんかすごい真面目な顔して出て行ったけど、そんな雰囲気じゃなかったような。
じゃあ追いかける？
いや、でもさすがにそれは。
Ellie placed a hand on the mumbling Cosme's head and looked at the other person while signaling something with her eyes.
シロ、あんたが代わりに経過見届けてきなさいよ。かすみちゃんそっちの方が気になるみたいだし。
そりゃ別にいいけどよ。なんだお前、ずいぶんそいつに甘いじゃん。気に入ったんか？
なんかチワワみたいで可愛い。
That's actually kind of apt. Saying that, Ellie caressed Cosme's head, though it was less of a caress and more of a grind.
痛い痛い痛い痛い。ハゲるハゲちゃうから煙出るから。
お前の頭はいつも煙吹いてんだろ。じゃあま、エリー。
分かってる。
Ignoring Cosme's complaining, the two looked each other in the eye and shared a smile, as if they'd agreed on something.
どっちが当たりでも恨みっこなしな。
理想は二人揃ってレアモンゲットなんだけどね。
つうより俺はよ。
Ellie was sitting down, and Shiro leaned forward to align his eyes with hers. Cosme was still between them, though he didn't really seem to care.
あいつらみたいな関係も悪くはねえかなと思ってんだよ。
あんた、私に変わりたいの？
さあね、言ったろ。どっちでも恨みっこなしだ。
二人とも近いっていうか、私の顔貫通して話すのやめてほしいんだけど。
起伏のねえ扁平面だから障害物にはなんねえよ。
それはブスっちゅうことか。
ちげえって。
味のある顔ってことよ。
例えば
味ねえ。
And a moment later, Shiro and Ellie simultaneously licked Cosme's cheeks, startling her enough to make her jump.
味しねえよ。
ちょっと塩味効きすぎかも。
As Cosme's stiffening escalated to the point of being almost audible, Shiro sprinkled some sugar on her and began to leave the room.
これで少しは味変わったろ。そいつのことはお前に任せる。俺は行ってくっからよ。
はいはい、いってらっしゃい。
てかあんた、なんでそんな都合よく砂糖なんか常備してんのよ。
他にもいろいろあんだぜ。
そう、いろいろね。
Like circumstances of all kinds and sorts, Ellie inched her face for another lick of sugar-coated Cosme's cheek, only to have her avoid it by jumping away with all she had.
美味しそうなスイーツなのに。
Cosme wanted nothing to do with this patronizing weirdo of a woman. All she could do was ask God why she was constantly surrounded by nutcases.